Hello, let's talk about DC vs. Marvel, the Amalgam Age Omnibus. So, there was a DC vs. Marvel Omnibus that came out a few months ago. Here it is. This had all of the crossover collaborations between DC and Marvel between the 70s on into the early 2000s. And so this was great. But I remember this, where there was a big crossover event in the 90s called DC vs. Marvel with this logo, and it resulted in the Amalgamverse, where they smooshed together heroes, and then they pulled them apart again, and brought everything back to normal. There's a whole storyline with a character called Access, who did all this. So here is the Omnibus. This is the cover I got. Here is the spine with all the Amalgam characters. You got like Dark Claw and everything. Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. We'll get into all that stuff. And Speed Demon, forearm thing. Dr. Doomsday, that's cool. Doomsday and Dr. Doom. And here's the back. Alright, this is a giant omnibus. This is about over 1,200 pages. And here is the inside of the dust jacket. So for these fights here, they actually had a poll, and it you know, I didn't like the results, but basically fans got to vote on who was going to win, which was really stupid. And some of these, I think out of all of these fights, there's only one where I agreed with the outcome. But the rest of it, whew. There are other fights as well where basically the creators were the ones that came up with the outcomes. Complete your Omnibus collection, all this other stuff. Alright, here is the actual cover art. You've got like Storm versus Wonder Woman, Superman versus Hulk, Spider-Man versus Superboy, like the 90s Superboy, and of course Lobo versus Wolverine makes sense, both healing factors and everything. Let's get into the actual book itself. This, you know, I hesitated on this because I wasn't a big fan of the Amalgam stuff, but it is fun, and it's cool to like have... because you don't know when they're going to republish these things, right? Because it is a joint effort between DC and Marvel, and I don't know what their agreement was in order for them to do things like these collections years down the line, right? Here's table of contents, round 1, round 2, round 3, and a whole bunch of these different Amalgam. A lot of this is the Amalgamverse. There you go, and a bunch of different afterwards and everything. The trading cards, they have them all here. The DC vs. Marvel trading cards and the Amalgamverse trading cards. Here's some introduction about how all this happened. And here's a preview of the Dark Claw animated series comic that they made for fun. And we'll get into this. It's Superman and Captain America amalgamated into one thing. So, here's DC vs. Marvel. And Spider-Man was in his crappy costume at this time, because they're farting around with the character too much. And here you've got X-Men and everything. Here you have Spider-Man dealing with Joker. And it's funny because Joker makes mention of, because they had met before in the 70s, Superman and no, I think they, yeah, I'm pretty sure, no, you know what, they didn't meet. Maybe I'm wrong. At some point, Joker thinks that Spider-Man and him met, and Spider-Man's never met Joker. Superman had the mullet at this time too. There's a lot of shakeup in the 90s at this point, so when you see them all team up here, it's not the same. It's not the ones that you're familiar with, right? Here's Wonder Woman, Captain America. So they're all being taken from their realities, and they're going to go into, Superboy. There's Lobo. They're going to get get together here. So here's Thor. This is the way Thor looked at this particular moment. So as I say, it's the 90s, and when they chose to do this big crossover, characters don't look the way that you want them to. It's Quicksilver, Silver Surfer, blah blah blah. Batman is blue and gray. Awesome. Here's Clark Kent and J. Jonah Jameson. That's cool. Here's so here you have some fun so far. You've got Daredevil versus Riddler. You've got Captain America versus Bane. You've got Punisher and Deathstroke here, and you've got Demon versus Ghost Rider. But these are like one panel things. Supergirl teaming up with She-Hulk, that's cool. Looks like a Nihilist, I guess. Versus Superman, Man-Bat, and Spider-Man. You've got Clark Kent and Peter Parker teaming up. Living Tribunal here, and Spectre. And here you've got two of the same person, but in different universes. I think that ends up being Access. All right, so here they're advertising their whole polling thing. You get to pick between Superman and Hulk who wins, and got the tail of the tape here. Who wins against, like, Captain America versus Batman? Wonder Woman versus Storm. A lot of the outcomes of these I wasn't a big fan of, but Wolverine versus Lobo. Superboy versus Spider-Man. And then this is how you vote and everything. I never took part in this, but I was very disappointed in what everyone came up with. Right, so you got Killer Croc versus Wolverine. You've got Thanos meeting Darkseid. You've got Bane and Captain America here. And Captain America defeats Bane. There you go. That's one fight. You've got some you got some crossover with Looney Tunes characters. They're all toys in this universe. Got Thor and Captain Marvel. Thor looks awful, eh? Like, Thor, what did they do to you? So here Thor defeats Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel reverts back to Billy Batson. Wonder Woman sees the hammer and says, like, if he be worthy. It's like, well, that's, subjective. Here, Namor and Aquaman fight, and that fight is ridiculous. Flash and Quicksilver match speeds. Flash defeats Quicksilver, so that I agree with that. This fight always pissed me off. I guess Aquaman should defeat Namor, or no, you know what? Namor should defeat Aquaman since he came first. But the way he's defeated, like, Aquaman puts a big whale on him. I don't. Why wouldn't Namor survive that and fight him more? I don't know. This is the worst outcome of any of these fights. This is the stupidest thing. Kingpin meets Peter Parker, and Wonder Woman gets the power of Thor. There you go. And here you see the outcomes here. So Flash defeats Quicksilver, Aquaman defeats Submariner, and Thor defeats Captain Marvel. And they call him Captain Marvel. There you go. Jubilee versus Robin. Flash versus Quicksilver. Thor versus Captain Marvel. Catwoman versus Electra. Silver Surfer versus Green Lantern. Aquaman versus Submariner. So here you have Robin versus Jubilee. Robin wins, of course. This wouldn't be done now. You got Silver Surfer versus Green Lantern. Silver Surfer wins. Sure, I'm okay with that. You know, I would say that Green Lantern should win because he's the older, more established character. But hey, Electra versus Catwoman. Electra wins. Skill for skill, you'd figure Electra would win. The way Electra wins is kind of dumb. The Catwoman slips and falls. Why would she do that? And here you have Access. Here's Wolverine versus Lobo. And the fight is cheap because the defeat is behind this desk, so they can do an alternate ending. But here, Wolverine gets up and he's the guy that wins. He takes Lobo's cigar and smokes it. There are alternate pages to these that are in the back of this book. It's pretty cool. Because they had to draw both and complete them both, inking and coloring, so that they can have one ready to go when the results were in. Here's Storm versus Wonder Woman, and frickin' Storm wins. That's because the polling got Storm to win. X-Men cartoon was huge at this time. Spider-Man versus Superboy. Spider-Man wins. I don't know if I agree with that. Superman versus Hulk. Guess what? Superman wins. That's one time when the polling was correct. Batman versus Captain America. Batman wins, of course. He had a big movie franchise and everything, so yeah. I would say Captain America should win, but oh well. They team up anyways, you know. So there you go. So now we get into the Amalgam verse. So this is Superman and Captain America as Super Soldier. And it's a whole storyline, and it's a different kind of villain that he fights that's kind of like Red Skull. It's World War II and everything. He's got a Superman shield. These were fun as a one-off thing, but they kept like releasing these, and they had all these like mail calls. I don't even know if these were real letters or what, because I mean, this is a brand new thing, and they look real, but like they're just incredibly well faked or something. Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's fun. It's the same dude that he's fighting. All sorts of different amalgam characters here to fight. There's a Batgirl here and everything. Then you go Spider-Boy. I don't know why they teamed up Spider-Man with Superboy so much here. But yeah. Got a cool lizardish character. Here's an Insect Queen character, like in DC Comics. X-Patrol, looking very 90s. Here's Superman punching out Venom. X-Patrol, this looks awesome. This looks very, very 90s. Here's Dark Claw. One of the breakout stars of this whole thing. It's Wolverine and Batman, of course, and a sort of Jubilee-ish Robin, because Jubilee and Robin were fighting, so they got amalgamated into each other. It's kind of weird. The whole amalgam thing was weird. Speed Demon is, I think, well, let me think. It's a Ghost Rider and, like, I don't know, Flash or something. Pretty neat idea. There's a version of Two-Face. There's Assassins. There's, God, I don't even know who these are amalgamated with. I can't remember. I would say Zealot, but like at this point, that wouldn't be the case. Bullets and Bracelets, so it's a version of Wonder Woman and like a version of Punisher, and like maybe Guy Gardner, it looks like. Wonder Woman and Electra, maybe? I don't know. And here you have some versions of the Femme Fatales from Apocalypse. There's Titania. It's Big Barda and Titania, so it's Big Titania. it was fun. This whole thing was fun, I guess, but I mean, it got tiresome quick. I just wanted the characters to interact and fight each other. That's all. Here's the Doctor Strangefate, I think. Yeah, so it's Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate as Doctor Strangefate. He looks neat. Here's a version of Solomon Grundy. And here's DC versus Marvel. And I was hoping at this point, can we get back to just their fighting each other? No, it's still Amalgam stuff. Here's some Hulk, though, and Mole Man and everything. All Access with Access here, part 1 of 4, so more continuing this whole saga with the Access character. Here's Venom and Superman fighting. That's pretty cool. It's a whole fight between Venom and Superman. Whole fight, man. Pretty neat. Pretty neat stuff. All Access in the issue 1. Still fighting. Pretty cool, man. The Venom's trying to infect Superman. Like, what would happen? That's more of the promise of what I thought this whole thing was going to be. Like, yeah, do this. Like, what would happen if Superman fought Venom? Like, that's great, you know? You're fighting more. All Access issue 1 might be the best of these for me. All Access issue 2 with Jubilee and Robin teaming up, falling in love perhaps, I don't know. Here's Doctor Strange and Batman. Here's more of Robin and Jubilee falling in love. Pretty cool. Here's the X-Men. Here's Jean Grey, hands on hips, you know, super serious. I'm just jumping ahead here. This one was Generation Hex. Pretty neat idea. Wild West steampunk stuff. Super Soldier Men of War #1, a special for Super Soldier. It's more Super Soldier stuff. X Patrol, exciting X Patrol this time. Looking very 90s once again. This is the Dark Claw animated series. So this is Dark Claw Adventures, I think. Let's go back here. Dark Claw Adventures. So they had Batman Adventures or Batman the Animated Series Adventures, something like that. This is mimicking that. It's like, what if Dark Claw had the animated series that Batman has? There's Bat Thing, it's Man Thing, and Man Bat as Bat Thing. It's just, you could see, this just went on and on. They released so many of these amalgam things. It's like, okay, we get it. They're fused and whatnot. Why can't they just fight each other and talk with each other and interact with each other? What is this? Okay, this is a fun page. Because this is Spider-Boy meets the Legion of Galactic Guardians 2099. So, Guardians of the Galaxy, the original team, was a ripoff of Legion of Superheroes. So here they're fusing guys. So it's like it's Vance Astro and Cosmic Boy. Martin X5 is Martin X and Brainiac 5. Living Lightning Lass is probably, I don't know if it's Living Laser and Lightning or Light Lass. I don't know. Sun Lord is Sun Boy and what's the guy's name? Fire Lord. A Cannon Fire would be oh, my brain. Dude, I don't know why I'm blanking on the names, but yeah, Cannonball and Wildfire. Multiple Maid is Multiple Man and probably Duplicate Girl. I don't know. Growing Boy is Colossal Boy and like whoever else. Ladybug is Jen Van Dyne and I don't know, someone else there. Dream Date's Dream Girl, and I don't know who they would be merged with. Same thing with Invisible Girl. It's Invisible Girl from Fantastic Four, and like, I don't know, Phantom Girl. Paste Eater Pete is Paste Pot Pete, and Matter Eater Lad perhaps. Timberwolf by night is of course Werewolf by night, and like Jack Russell and Timberwolf. Star Charlie is Charlie, I can't remember the name, the number, Charlie 23 was it? And Starboy. Shadow Star, can't remember the name of the character from Marvel. Stallone played him. And Shadow Lass? I don't know. Phantom Cat, oh, this is Phantom Girl and Shadow Cat perhaps. So I don't know, some of these, it's like you have to like figure out who they're merged with. Chameleon is Chameleon Boy and probably Chameleon from Marvel. I don't know. Fantastic Lad is Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic, and some stretching character from DC. Bouncing Boy is of course Speedball and sorry, Bouncing Ball is Speedball and Bouncing Boy. Molecule Lad would be Molecular Lad and somebody else. Oh, Molecule Man. Captain Universe and oh, can't remember his name. Yeah, Psy Girl, Living Lightning Lad. I mean, like, you can have fun looking at this all day and saying, like, who are they merged with? Because they don't readily tell you, right? And you just have to figure it out yourself, right? There you go. That's fun. Stuff like that is fun. It's fun, but it's like, you know, and here's even more. Legion of Galactic Guardians 2099, so even more like Vance Cosmic Psy Girl. It's the same kind of the Dark Star, Phantom Cat, Mass, Nucleus. Yeah, it's like, who are these merged with? Some repeats, Martin X5. This whole thing was a big tribute, but yeah, it's the whole amalgam thing is a fun concept on paper, but when you have stacks and stacks and stacks of comics, Challenges of the Fantastic, Challenges of the Unknown, and Fantastic Four, it gets tedious, and it's like, is this what this crossover is? Because I thought it was just going to be they fight each other. Iron Lantern is Iron Man and Green Lantern. That's neat. Oh boy. We're getting there, guys. Thorion of the new Asgods. Alright, so it's Thor and Orion. God, would Kirby appreciate that? I don't know. I don't know if Kirby was around for this. I guess so. Okay, so this is fun. This is Lobo the Duck. This was a fun one. This was unexpected. So it's Lobo and Howard the Duck merged into one guy, fighting all sorts of fun, cartoonish characters. Unlimited access. Oh boy. So you got Wonder Woman versus Juggernaut. That's cool. And I think Spider-Man versus Mantis. That's what it looks like to me. And here Wonder Woman challenges Spider-Man, like, do you want to wrestle me? Because he fought a god, so it's so weird. And he's like, pinch me. Like, you know, like, what, you want me to actually wrestle you? That's awesome. Hulk throwing cars and stuff. And fighting Green Lantern. Pretty neat. This is more in tune of what I wanted. Alright, so let me jump ahead a bit more. Here you've got a version of, you got Thor and the blue electric Superman. Alright. And here you have the end of the saga. They all meet up for one last time, and Access puts everything to rights. And is never seen again, because he's a joint character between DC and Marvel. Here's some afterwards. Here are all the cards. So here's the DC versus Marvel trading card set. The entire thing. Scans of everything. And here's the Amalgam trading card set. I remember Wizard Magazine had some preview cards of Darkclaw, of which I have 2. But this is all the different characters. Pretty neat stuff. And here are the different ads for this epic. Oh, let's I don't know if you can see everything. Wow. That's how much it folds out. Put the genie back in the bottle here. Amalgam Age of Comics. So here are the alternate endings. These are for the polling ones where kids voted for who should win and were wrong almost every time. Here's the version where Lobo wins against Wolverine. Different ending. Here's where Wonder Woman wins against Storm. Forgive me. Storm says, "Forgive me, sister," when she defeats Wonder Woman. But when Wonder Woman punches Storm used lightning, so that's more fitting here. Punch her ass. You know, like, listen, you think your X-Men cartoon is awesome? Like, I'm Wonder Woman. Here's Superman versus Spider-Man, where Superboy wins. And here's where Hulk wins, and the Superman winning over Hulk was the only one I agreed with. There's a bunch of different sketches and everything. Skip ahead. The Speed Demon, which was a neat idea. Lobo the Duck. A version of Forbush Man. Yeah, so this whole big epic was it's a lot of fun. It's cool that they did it. It got tiresome, but it's cool that, I mean, they're never going to do this again, so it's cool to own all of this. And I don't know when it's going to be published. Here's a bunch of memos, which are a lot of fun to read through, what they were thinking for this, breakdowns and everything. Pretty incredible. This is a great volume to have. If you're around for this time and were baffled by all the decisions, well, here they are. Here are all the notes scribbled and everything as to what they were thinking. Mike Carlin, lots of, before emails, there were these things, memos, letters, pretty cool stuff, breakdowns, more memos. There you go. There's a great picture of a Carwald. That's funny. Will Eisner Comic Industry Award for Carwald 97. I guess they made that up themselves. Here's another fold-out. Pretty neat stuff. Okay, this is an incredible volume to own. Of a strange time in DC and Marvel's history, where they resorted to doing this giant, crazy crossover of crossover fights and also these amalgamated characters. Lots of great notes. It's an all-in-one great package. So I recommend it. It's a lot of money, but I recommend it. Maybe one day it'll be marked down. but it's pretty cool stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this walk through DC versus Marvel, the Amalgam Age Omnibus with me. If you like what you saw, please give a like to this video, and please subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of great comic book stuff on here. So until next time, take care.